In this video, I want us to go over the verb for to study or ללמוד בעברית. So the infinitive or the base form of the verb is, as I said, ללמוד, to study. And now I want us to go over the conjugations of this verb. אני למדתי למבחן. I studied for the exam. Now for you, אתה למדת למבחן. You studied for the exam. And this is the form for a male, if you're talking to a man. We then have את למדת למבחן. You studied for the exam for a female. So למדת for a man, למדת or למדת for a female. הוא למד למבחן. He studied for the exam. היא למדה למבחן. So she studied for the exam. הוא למד, היא למדה. אנחנו למדנו למבחן. We studied for the exam. אתם למדתם למבחן. And this is if you're talking to a group of men. The masculine plural form. אתם למדתם למבחן. And then we have the feminine plural form. אתן למדתם למבחן. And then we have הם למדו למבחן. They studied for the exam. And once again, this is the masculine form. And we also have the feminine form. הן למדו למבחן. They studied for the exam. So these are the conjugations for the past tense. Let's now move on to the present tense. So if I want to say that I'm currently studying or that I study in general, אני לומד למבחן. אני לומד למבחן. I study for the exam or I am studying for the exam. If it's a woman saying this sentence, by the way, it would be אני לומדת למבחן. But if it is a man saying the sentence, such as myself, אני לומד למבחן. Then we have אתה לומד למבחן. You are studying for the exam. אתה לומד למבחן. And if I'm saying that to a woman, to a female, את לומדת למבחן. הוא לומד למבחן. He is studying for the exam. And היא לומדת למבחן. She is studying for the exam. אנחנו לומדים למבחן. We are studying for the exam. And then we have אתם לומדים למבחן. This is the plural masculine form. And the plural feminine form, אתן לומדות למבחן. You are studying for the exam for a group of women. Then we have הם לומדים למבחן. And once again, this is the plural masculine form. הם לומדים למבחן. הן לומדות למבחן. This is the plural feminine form. הן לומדות למבחן. So this was the present tense. Then we have the future tense. So these ones are used if someone is going to study in the future. So אני אלמד למבחן. I will study for the exam. אני אלמד למבחן. And notice that this sentence can be said by either a man or a woman. So אני אלמד למבחן. I will study for the exam. אתה תלמד למבחן. You will study for the exam. And this is the way I say it for a man. אתה תלמד למבחן. If I'm talking to a woman, את תלמדי למבחן. You will study for the exam. הוא ילמד למבחן. He will study for the exam. הוא ילמד למבחן. But she, he, תלמד למבחן. She will study for the exam. Then we have אנחנו נלמד למבחן. We will study for the exam. And אתם תלמדו למבחן. This is the masculine plural form. אתם תלמדו למבחן. If I'm talking to a group of females, then we use the feminine plural form. אתן תלמדו למבחן. And now I want to emphasize here something important. אתם or אתן, the plural form, can use the same verb, תלמדו. But if I'm talking to a group of females, I can also use this form of the verb, this conjugation. אתן תלמדנה למבחן. This one isn't used as much, but it's definitely something that you can read in a book or even in the newspaper. So אתן תלמדו למבחן, this is the simpler, more useful way, and אתן תלמדנה למבחן, this is the more literary form. Then we have הם ילמדו למבחן, and this is the masculine form, הם ילמדו למבחן. And as for the feminine form, הן ילמדו למבחן. And once again, we have the more literary form, הן תלמדנה למבחן. And now I want us to go over a few examples. So let's start with this one. We didn't want to study, but they wanted to. אנחנו לא רצינו ללמוד, אבל הם רצו. Next up we have, if you don't study, you won't know. אם לא תלמד, לא תדע. אם לא תלמד, לא תדע. Then we have, why don't you want to study? Maybe you will study. It's important to study. So this is how we say this sentence. למה אתה לא רוצה ללמוד? אולי תלמד. חשוב ללמוד. And notice that here I'm talking to a man, I'm talking to a male. He who studies knows. Or in Hebrew, מי שלומד יודע. She studied, is studying, and will study. She always wants to study. היא למדה, לומדת, ותלמד. היא תמיד רוצה ללמוד. Next example, we study a lot because we want to know. אנחנו לומדים הרבה כי אנחנו רוצים לדעת. And then we have, when will you study? Haven't you started studying? And here I'm talking to a group of people. So I'm not only talking to a single person, but to a group of people. מתי תלמדו? לא התחלתם ללמוד? So I hope you learned something today. And as always, if you want to take your Hebrew to the next level, schedule a lesson with me and I'll be happy to help.